minutes, so just don't have any reservations on this one.
Yeah.
Got 10 seconds?
Yep.
Okay, Conservation Commission meeting July 21st, President,
David Neiman,
Carl Sam, Select Board Rep.
Susan Tucker.
Patty Gale, staff.
Jean Walker.
Andrew Chaplin.
Evelyn Miller.
Okay, thank you. The first on our list is map 4, lot 53-3, request for relief from the outer 50 of the 100-foot wetland surface water conservation district buffer to build a 200-square-foot barn. Property is located at 207 New Boston Road, owner Mark Burdette, zoned residential 1. Do we have someone here to,
And it's a 2,000 square foot barn.
oh, 2,000.
Last meeting, we wanted a little more detail on the plan, showing where the ledge outcrop was and the leach field. So I had the surveyor kind of show what that was. Last time we were talking, we talked about asking if the barn could be put on top of that ledge outcrop. And I guess it's all solid ledge there. It could be put there. I guess my access to that would be the question I would want to know on. I'd have to still access that area through the buffer to get to that spot.
So you're still proposing it would be the whole outer 50-foot the barn would be in?
It would be outer 50 feet, yeah. But if you last meeting you suggested putting it on top of, there was some boulders there, look at boulders. There's a ledge outcrop.
Yeah, that was my confusion, because last time you just
Yeah,
put it as a boulder
yeah, he kinda-
field.
Yeah.
In which case boulders, unless they're gigantic, can be moved.
So the back part of that ledge, it goes up, and that's all ledge. There's a little bit of cast off is where the boulders are. The back part of it would be where the ledge is actually solid ledge. I'm not saying that it's not movable, but
Blast.
blast, I don't know if I could blast, because my leach field's right there in my house.
Yeah.
It'd have to be hammered, I would assume, but.
Oh,
This is not leaving much space around the inner 50. Go ahead,
Oh,
Susan.
no, I'm just gonna say, the wetland that we're dealing with is basically road runoff on the New Boston Road. Is that a wet swale? Is that what it is?
Nope, this is, it comes off the hill and it hits an old road bed right there and it only has one little stone culvert that it can go through, so it's, and there's also, before that, there's a passage over it on the
Okay.
next door property, so it kinda comes down and it comes back out and it goes back down again.
So it's not a vernal pool or anything, it's just,
No,
it's just
no.
is it seasonal, basically? Does it hold
It's,
water?
yeah, it's
all year?
ledge, so it doesn't, the water kinda stays on top of the
Just
water, I
stays
don't
there.
know exactly, it's a little larger the other side.
Okay.
I know, like that house, it was a subdivision from that house, and that house, I don't believe had to have a whole separate
Okay.
plan up top, cause it's
All right.
not buildable area.
I personally don't see that as a valuable wetland that we need to protect with 100 feet.
Well,
How anybody
we're
else
only
feels.
looking at one little extension of it, we're not looking at the whole wetland, I don't think you can make that claim.
No? Okay.
So you're going 40 feet into the
Yep.
50-foot outer.
Yep, 39, yep.
Well, and then you're saying access would be in front.
Access would be across, yes, that, I have a well there,
What are you gonna, what is the proposed use for your barn?
just storage,
Just storage.
yep,
Is this for you or?
yes, yeah, this is my home right here. Yep,
So you don't have any commercial thoughts in the
Nope.
future?
Nope.
You know, taking in cars and redoing them or things
Nope.
like that?
nope.
David, you have any other comment?
It's hard to say without actually seeing it.
Are you proposing a sidewalk?
If there's a sidewalk, I probably wouldn't be able to attend, because I'm leaving on vacation, so.
Well, does anybody else have any comments on this?
So what happens to this wetland, Mark? Does it continue down?
Well, this is,
Nope, just kind of stops there.
does it stop right there? That's,
So
that's,
that old stone culvert is right there at the end of it.
So it then passes under New Boston Road
Yeah.
to what's on the other side that it's draining into?
They just put, the town redid the road right there and put a huge culvert right there.
So there's no
there's no
waterway or
continuation? or-
anything, it's not contiguous with some other wetland across the way?
No,
So you're
no, it
talking
just
right,
goes straight
right
across.
in here, Mark?
What's that?
You're talking about right in here? I know it's kind of small.
Yep,
there to see.
yep. Yeah, you can see on the last plan, they showed you that septic design shows the actual,
The topos, right?
yeah, the topo.
That's why we included that. The house is there, it's just we wanted you to see the
Yeah.
topo.
It shows where the culvert is,
Yeah.
and it actually shows how big it is on the other side too.
It goes under the old bed, then under the town. Under 13.
With construction here, you have to be extremely careful
Yep,
if you were to
I'd have to put the protections down,
protection
Yeah.
signs.
well, protecting like the silt fencing
Yep.
and all the stuff that you normally, best management practices to protect the wetland.
Because you really don't, there's not much space outside, even go around the barn.
no, if I could sneak it over even more towards
Because you're
that.
just talking like 10 feet that out, to say out of the wetland.
Yeah,
Stay in
sneak it
50,
into
yeah.
my lawn area more, yeah, or closer to the leach field, I don't know how close I can go to the leach field, but
Does anyone have the report from the previous meeting?
I do.
You do? Did you see this? Do you want me to read a little part of it where it says the effectiveness of this wetland as a trap for sediment and toxins or pathogens and runoff water from surrounding uplands and upstreams eroding wetland areas. This function reduces or prevents graduation of the water quality. The wetland has low scores for all functions and values. The sediment toxin retention function simply ranked highest despite only meeting a 5 of a 9 listed rationales. The wetland resource was minimally suitable for the remaining functions and values. So it doesn't sound like it's
Sound like a real critical,
it sounds like it's holding water.
right.
Yeah.
Which is important, especially as of late. Wetlands are holding water.
No, but he's not talking about, we're just saying we're protecting the holding water, but it's not as though it's a critical thing that we worry about runoff into it, I think, which I think he's still got 60 feet of property that is protecting it, protecting it, and it's not a critical wetland. I understand it's a wonderful, what is it, rain storage, So, anyway. I guess that's my comment.
Wallace?
Well, I mean, they did a functional assessment, and it seems to indicate that it's pretty limited functions. And obviously, it serves a flood storage function, but every wetland does that. It doesn't seem to be in a critical location in the watershed as far as a water course or anything, so I mean, I think it's pretty minor. I mean, the question I always have to ask myself is, it's one thing to want a building of a certain size, it's another thing to need a building of a certain size, and can the building be reduced in size to increase the setback and still provide some storage for you? And
yeah,
I think we asked that question at the last meeting as well.
Last time.
I can definitely make it smaller, I guess. Could I make it longer? And not as wide? Would that be an option, or?
That, if you didn't make it so wide, you'd be pulling it out of a little bit more out of
Yep.
the 50.
Yeah.
Is that a possibility?
Yeah, I guess I can look into that as an idea. I can-
That would
I
give you a
mean,
little more space around the building. That's what you're not gonna have.
Yeah, no access to the back, which wouldn't really want to put too much back to it, because it's my neighbor's yard, so. I don't think he wants to look at much, but, yeah, I guess I don't know what this, what I'm getting approved is, I kind of figured it was just that outer 50 feet is the outer 50, not that it was
Just
right
kinda
next to
there.
it, but yeah. So I didn't know what your,
So you're saying like
I don't know
a
what the,
30 by 60? You're saying pull it back?
No, we were saying instead of making it wide,
40.
you'll make it longer.
Well, that's what I
Try to
mean.
get the
same
Take
square footage, yeah.
Dropping,
And even if, yeah, that would be better. Anything you could bring out would be better, because that will give you space around, that's, because otherwise you're tight to the inner 50.
yep, okay.
And if that's a possibility, that would be something
Okay.
we'd really appreciate.
Okay,
He's on the agenda for the planning board meeting tomorrow
Okay,
night, so
can
I
we-
would ask that
can-
the board could pass a comment, and if you're recommending
What-
relief of the buffer, provided he reduces the size of the building, some sort of language.
So we could, yeah, so we could send him on to planning.
Yeah.
Otherwise,
And they
they're
can.
another month away.
Yeah.
I don't mind the time, I'm more, with, the other recommendations that the DPW made, and I just wanna make sure that if I have to have it remapped, and there's a
Okay.
cost, threshold
Right,
involved, and I don't wanna
exactly.
I don't wanna get a
So,
new plot plan and do all this stuff,
what-
and then,
I don't think we're talking about that.
And then be,
We're talking about
denied on it.
instead of a building like this, it's a building like this.
Yeah.
Just
Right.
change the size of the rectangle.
yeah,
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 yeah. I think that'd be
You'd
a lot
be careful
better.
doing that, though, that you don't block your access to the leach field, because, you know, it cause another problem for yourself.
yeah. If I can sneak it into that corner more, and turn it, square it off a little bit, I mean, to that leach field,
What if the orientation was rotated a little bit?
yeah, into that corner,
Yeah,
in front of that ledge.
that would remove.
Yeah, that's
decrease.
kinda, I think, when it, cause that ledge is obviously gonna be tough to build on
Can't do
anyway, so it's
that.
gonna be kinda
Yeah.
skirted in that front corner.
Okay.
That would probably reduce the impact more than changing the shape would,
Yeah,
just by
So
turning the
we
orientation.
want to make a motion so that he can go to planning, so he doesn't have to wait longer. Somebody, Evelyn?
Conservation Commission recommends that the applicant reduce the width, consider reducing the width of the barn and maybe the placement, rotating the placement a bit so that he's not within, that he's less within the 50.
Right, it's going to be, you're still probably going to be.
You're still
in
gonna
but
be
you're
in
gonna
it,
be
but-
less.
Yeah.
Reduce.
So as to decrease
Yes,
the amount of building that falls
yeah,
within.
so if I can go like 75 feet from it,
Yeah. that'd be
Yeah.
better, yeah.
So applicant consider reducing the width and rotate the building to be further out of the buffer.
yep.
By
Yeah,
changing
and if
this.
you're doing the rotation, it's hard to put a specific number on that, because the overall impact would be much less rotating at one corner would,
Yeah,
you
yeah,
know, so you couldn't say, oh, I'm only gonna be within 20 feet. Well, the one corner probably would stick out more, but it would be
yeah. the front-
still a
yeah,
big net.
Yeah, I know what you're saying, yeah.
Right.
The
A big net
overall,
decrease.
overall distance,
Yeah,
back corner could be,
that way,
85
okay,
feet away.
we need a second. Yeah,
second that.
Okay,
Are we adding anything else regarding the actual impact, or no, just that's the only comment you want to provide? Okay.
okay, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstaining? Okay. Thank you for working with us, too.
So Mark, I'm gonna let them give that comment to Joanne, and she'll have it for the meeting tomorrow night when you go before them.
okay,
Okay.
Thanks,
just
Mark.
Walker,
Yeah,
you're my
thank
second
you.
grade teacher too,
Good
you know.
luck.
Mrs. Walker.
Good
You're
luck.
You're my second grade teacher.
I thought so. I didn't say it last month.
In that case, let's revisit this. Good
Thanks for coming in.
night.
Okay, map 9, lot 94-1, subdivision land review for proposed two-lot subdivision on Eastern Baton Road, property owned by Henry and Claire Grady, recognized the trust zone agricultural. And I think we've had this before, and Cindy, are you going to present it?
So I'm gonna need the plans back for Mark's for the planning board too.
Okay.
Just let you know. Not right now, but after the meeting.
I
If
think
anyone you guys would think.
right there, and I'll just kind of.
So on the top is an exhibit, and the actual subdivision plans below it that you saw the notice of decision where planning board wanted her to come back to show the improvements out of the buffer.
Yeah, there was a whole list of
Conditions that they placed on it.
conditions that were put on it by the planning board,
Yeah,
and I think we all have a copy of that. So. Is there anything else?
Well,
What's changed?
it's out of the buffer.
Yeah,
They
That
added
was-
a lot of
That
things.
was the main thing we were hoping for, so.
yeah.
Looks like a big improvement to me.
I guess they're looking for like a statement if, as long as improvements are out of the buffer, that it satisfies the concern of the Conservation Commission.
Well, refresh my memory, did we have any other concerns?
Well, when she came in, they didn't have like showing you the proposed improvements, they were just asking for relief of the buffer.
Right.
Right.
The big issue is they didn't show the grading, so we didn't know if that was gonna create some problems with the buffer. So we asked them to show all of the improvements, which would include the buildings, the access driveways, the grading plan, and I think that's what's been shown here. Cynthia, don't want to
Yeah.
speak for you.
Well, I also think in the discussion that we found it confusing even to ask for the relief when the intention was to not be within the buffer. So if the intention wasn't to be within the buffer, then there was no reason to have the relief, because that would open the door to who knows what, and looks like mission accomplished. I mean, we have a plan that makes sense to me.
Yep.
They had like 18 things that the planning board had to put down.
Yes, number 16 was just having you review the plan, but we're also going to be, we're going to be setting placards at the 100-foot setback. So the planning board wasn't sure that you have a standard, and Sarah didn't know, but we'll be putting something on the trees, because most of it's in the woods, along the 100-foot setback, and then we'll also be staking the 100-foot setback for where the grading, where if it could be getting near to it, they are going to be cutting some trees before the 100-foot setback, so that there'll be silt socks or hay bales or something, so to prevent during construction. So that's what, I don't know which ones that is. But anyway, so that we need to do, number 2 was provide appropriate erosion control measures. And so that was the big thing. And again, you're mostly interested in as it's draining down towards the wetland. This plan also shows drainage and swale between the two driveways. One of the planning board members was concerned about, the water coming down the driveways and then what happens at the road. So we've addressed that as well.
I'm just curious, who's responsible for the maintenance of the dams or that waterway there?
Well, there is no, the water goes through it right now.
Right.
You should really go do a site walk, because
You've
been out there, it's
very
beautiful.
special.
Yeah.
Yes, and I have just, right.
So, the dam, and it will be with one lot, and the old mill site is just on the other one. They're beautiful, it is beautiful. It was private. I mean, I even went back to research in the water rights and everything. I don't have that folder with me, but that was more in the research portion, but it hasn't been used for anything in a long time.
I guess I just wondered, I'm gonna ask Hollis, does the state have any, and you know, the dam that we have, the conservation, I mean, the state comes over and, you know, inspects it. I know they go around and inspect a number of the, but this is just privately, nothing, and so, okay, so if it
I mean,
disintegrates.
there's no impoundment there.
There's no, yeah,
No, it
because
just-
it's
I know,
already
it
coming
just-
through.
Yeah, no, I
Yeah.
know it is,
And
I
it's
just
very
wondered,
low.
yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Was that a Stone Farm dam
It's
type
probably a
thing?
grist mill.
It
or
was,
something,
it was
mill.
it was a wood mill, I
Mill,
thought. It could have been grist mill as well, but it was, I think it was wood, lumber. So,
Do they have any historic markers up?
no, I don't think so. I mean, we
Trying
hiked
real
over the
hard.
whole, yeah, we hiked
is.
over the whole thing and looking for, you know,
Yeah.
barbed wire fence and everything back there. So we really, were you on the planning board at that point when we solved all the research with regards to, they were overlap, we had done a boundary line agreement and a lot line adjustment because it was overlapping
right,
title.
right.
So we solved all that, so we really did a lot of hiking back there, but there really wasn't any historical evidence of what happened. And even the grade, he said, you know, all they did was they went sliding and ice skating out there, so.
Well, you certainly did a nice job pulling it out of the 100 feet. And,
So, this has already been to the planning board.
It is, and coming to see you is a condition of approval, so
Oh,
we don't have to go back. So we have to do those 18 items.
Right.
And we have to update the plans, letter of
Right.
certification, all those, but the planning board has approved, and I just have to update
Do we have any?
all the
We should
submittals.
make some comment.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I would
So-
suggest that it's be something along the lines that based upon the revisions to the plan, the Conservation Commission has no further issues
Right.
of concern.
yeah.
That would be my
I
recommendation.
mean, you did a really nice job
Yeah.
taking us very seriously and going back. and
Anybody have any
coming
other
up with
comments that they,
Thank you.
A plan. It will be a lovely site for two houses. I know.
Was Alice allowed to make motions?
No, I'm not.
I wrote it, but someone wants to
Oh, I
motion.
Is it a
moved that.
motion?
Yeah.
He doesn't, he's suggesting that for
No, that-
motion, he can't, he's
I-
a
Oh, yeah, I know he
selectman.
can't
I
make a
made
motion.
Merely a
motion that-
suggestion.
Evelyn made the motion, okay.
Need a second on that?
I'll second what
Okay, all right.
Alice and
I
Evelyn
guess.
said.
Okay.
Jump on those things, okay.
Okay, now,
Okay.
all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstaining? Okay.
Yeah,
Thank you.
You know,
Thank
just
you.
for fun, if they had any historical information on it, I mean, any of these owners here could
Let's move
just
on.
put something someplace.
I'm gonna just
'Cause it is
step
a
out
beautiful
and see
place.
if the
And
applicant's
even if the
outside
houses are there.
or.
Okay.
I
Okay,
guess.
we gotta save these large
Tommy
ones for
Grady is
the,
your cousin.
Oh, yeah.
So his father owned all that land, as well with Grady Hill Road and stuff, so, and I'll check with Tommy if he knows.
It would be so nice, I mean, I think it is, you know, I don't know about you, but when I drive around, I love looking at these historical markers. And, you know, well, then
we move on?
actually pull off on the side of the road and read it, you know.
okay,
Yeah.
thank you.
Thank you so
you
much,
very
sorry,
much.
we're just socializing.
No, 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 I know, that's fine,
You did
thank you.
You did a very nice job.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, we have,
You did.
map 33, lot 17 and 18, lot line adjustment subdivision plan review for proposal lot line adjustment between two lots that will create another third lot. Property is located at 94 and 98 Pleasant Street, owned by Falcon Heights Property LLC, zone residential. Okay, well, there's no one here to present this, so take a look at it and see if we have any questions, or if we're going to need someone to come in to explain this.
Oh, these lot line adjustments are always fun, trying to figure out what
Right.
to adjust
Yeah.
to.
Lot line adjustment,
The lot line adjustment.
where's the old and what's the new?
Exactly.
It's to make a lot line, and then we'll make a third lot. Third.
Oh, I see.
Oh, my God.
Alright, so
Here,
page
let's
one
look here.
is existing.
So here's what it looks like.
Okay.
So the-
I'm looking at it. This one.
need-
showing to-
Existing is here.
Did you find it?
Well, second page is showing building tree anyway.
Well, I left the message on the applicant, I don't have the surveyor's form.
Okay,
So if you wanted to do something else to give them us time, I can explain the last plan if you wanna go through the minutes and the other stuff. And otherwise, I could try and explain it. I just thought you guys would want a
You
presentation.
wanna just buy time and see if he comes in? is what
Yeah.
you're saying?
Right.
That
Okay,
sounds-
just-
that sounds like a
The
good
very
idea.
last plan, I can,
but they have another plan too.
they have two plans.
Two more, yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
one is the Pleasant Street,
One is Maple Ave.
well, it's actually New Boston Road, so that's labeled wrong, I found that
So-
out today.
We want to just put this on hold?
Patty,
Yeah.
is any of this in a floodplain with this bog road broken? By the way, has anybody been down to see the Piscataqua? Whoa.
Well-
Yeah, so.
He abuts, the property where the ATV goes through. They're on the back side. Like, I first thought it was on the opposite side, further down, but after looking at it. So it's kind of like, not far from like the fields where they have, the fields off of West Union Street. So you come down and, do you know, it used to be LeBlanc Electric.
Yeah,
It's across the street from there, which is the real
Okay.
testing company, so it's across the street. There's already some structures on it. And I know there's like the little bridge that Bog Brook crosses and goes around, so I know they're keeping out of it, but I wanted them to come and explain it, because I figured you'd have some concerns.
So actually, Andrew just
Okay, so-
pointed out where the
so why don't we put this aside?
flood boundary
In
is.
case they come in.
Yeah,
They have a flood boundary here, but,
right?
Yeah, I don't know if it was out of the flood, but there should be,
So we'll put this aside to see if they come in.
today?
they're supposed to be here.
Oh, okay.
Just table.
Last item on the
Okay.
Do you want to do the last plan, or do you want to go through you could do the minutes to go right through the rest of the agenda and then go back to it?
Okay, should I go down to the next, just go through,
Yeah, do the minutes next.
should I, well, I was gonna just read the next plan, because it's theirs too.
No, yeah, but it's his, he's not here for either one of them.
Okay, so the next plan happens to be the same developer, so let's go down, and we have the minutes from June 23rd, 2021.
At the last minute.
That was the
last
one you were gonna
meeting-
make the changes on.
Couldn't have been, that was the meeting.
Oh, that was
June
the one
23rd.
before that.
So there was a meeting before that where
You were,
I
you
said,
delayed the
I
minute.
remembered reading the minutes and there was something that needed to be
Right.
changed, but I couldn't remember and I
Oh,
was
right.
frantically reading through it.
Oh, yeah, the May minutes.
May
And,
minutes.
So I deeply apologize to everyone because what was in the back of my mind was something that
Okay, so
needed to be
we,
corrected in NHACC's board meeting.
Oh.
Wrong committee,
we'll,
wrong meeting.
we'll do June, and we'll do May the next time. David?
Well, you got
I
them,
would-
did you guys have any, you want to approve them?
Let's approve June.
I move to approve the May
Oh, approve May.
The May minutes?
The May minutes, I don't
Okay,
know what
we
the
have a
exact.
second.
that.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed or abstaining?
Yeah.
Okay. Now, that's the May minutes. The June minutes. Anybody have corrections or concerns? Somebody want to make a motion to approve those?
All right, I'll make a motion to approve the June minutes.
We have a second on that? Yeah. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Abstaining? Okay.
Okay.
And you have the non-public too.
That's right. We have the non-public. Somebody want, we
Make a motion to approve the non-public.
have a second?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Do we have to say roll call? Aye or just?
No, that's only when you're actually doing the non-public part.
Okay.
Opposed? Abstaining? Okay. Correspondence, we have a copy from, a letter from DES for the map 24 lot 77, that's Surratt Road. I think we looked at it, nothing else except it, nothing's happened since that one.
The first one was,
Yeah,
yeah, there is, if you look, is that the one that I got? No, that's a different one.
Yeah.
Yeah, nothing, that's the one where she said that they noticed that there were some violations of a beach area, and they're notifying them. They're still in the process. They haven't actually, they found exactly what they've done. It looked like they'd done a beach area.
It's on Elm Street.
That's the Elm Street one, and she couldn't give me anything more than what I provided, that I sent to you. She said it's just findings, they're in the process of citing them for findings.
Damascus, do we need to vote on the payment?
Well, did you want to talk about the Surratt Road one?
So that was the septic and the porch.
Yeah, and that's the one they started
They're
to
halfway
do.
through the septic, and they were looking for somebody to
Yeah,
finish the septic. I think David White had been working on it and no longer.
yeah, I gave you a bunch of backup material from the building department as well, and they are trying to work at resolving that and being able to replace this porch and install a septic.
Apparently has a holding tank right now.
Yeah,
Okay.
so that's what all that was about.
And now Damascus, they must have done a treatment and they must need a payment.
The payment's already been processed as part of their budget for it.
So do we need to?
No.
No, we're all set.
You voted already to up a certain amount,
I don't know.
and it looks like they'll be under.
Because the others, just complaints. There is just, the girls from the Troop 99 would like to do their camping on the island August 28th and 29th for one night. We just need to have, we have already more or less consent, but this is, again,
It go- yeah, it
courtesy that they know that they,
Well, no, the town administrator is asking for the board, the commission to, if they're okay with it, or pass on any comments, because it's going to go to the select board, and typically, the conservation just provides a
It
recommendation
seems like
to allow them.
we have approved the Boy Scouts before, and this is the girls in Troop 99.
Well,
One night?
Just one night,
Yeah.
One night. I
August
think it's like
28th.
8 girls, maybe. It's not very many.
We've never had issues with scouts camping on the
Just
island
that-
before, and we find that they leave
Yeah.
the property better than they find it, because they
Yes.
usually pick up trash.
Are they gonna kindle a fire?
That would be the only,
They'll probably get a fire
And
permit.
so they'll need a fire.
They need a
Yeah.
fire permit from the fire
So they're
department.
gonna have a fire.
Yeah.
I would- yeah, I bet you
That
they
they
will.
didn't say that, but obviously if they,
and I'm assuming there's adult supervision.
Yeah, there's, attached to the revised correspondence is
Yeah.
the email, that Derek sent me.
There'll be 2 or 3 adults.
Yep, they'll have 2 or 3 adults, have a
My
troop of
only
8
concern would be
girls.
that they get a burn permit.
Yeah,
Right.
and that's up to the fire department.
yeah, which they have
So
to do.
you're recommending they get a burn permit
Yeah.
if they have a fire?
Yeah.
Right. But you support them using the island?
Oh, sure.
Yes.
Yeah.
We don't have to make that a motion, do we?
Well,
Yeah, might as well.
yeah. So we look like a friendly conservation commission that's.
Okay,
loves the
wanna make a
Boy
motion?
Scout, Girl Scout. I move that we approve of the camping,
The request from,
Troop
Troop
99 to go.
girls.
Yes, to camp out on the island. And to secure a fire permit from the.
If they're planning on having a fire.
Well, you know,
We have a second on that?
they need that.
I'll second that.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstaining? Okay. Okay, now that we've gone, we have nothing for open space, we have a plan review,
It's the very last plan, I did put it
two-lot
out.
subdivision of map 8, lot 36-9, two subdivision, 310 Page Hill, Stephen Noble, owner, and zone agricultural.
Yep, that one is part of, they're on the agenda for the planning board meeting tomorrow night. As part of technical review, you review plans and provide comments. I didn't ask them to come in because it was a straightforward subdivision. It's the very, very last one.
The big one.
Yeah, yeah. You
Okay,
can see the butts, Hillcrest Road and Page Hill Road. It's a big property and they're subdividing off 2 acres, and the frontage of the property will be along Page Hill Road.
Right.
Okay.
And if you look at, that's the subdivision, and then I didn't see like any wetland issues.
Right, no.
Steve?
Do we
Okay.
have topography? 'Cause it says you're on a edge of a drumlin there, so it's a little too steep.
Oh, so where's her, do they have to put in a proposed driveway?
They will be here.
They have one of the varies, the site distance page, that shows the proposed driveway location.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
Right across
Okay,
the street
this is-
from Paper Mill.
Any comments?
That's right, and then,
Yeah, fairly, it's down closer to the existing property because it does, this is what I was, just knowing the area, it gets very steep down here. So they are at sort of the toe of the, or the heel of the drumlin going up.
well, it'll appeal to somebody in the summertime.
Well, they won't, certainly won't have any wetland issues there, it's
No.
all on
No.
the side of a
I see.
hill. So the only issue would be steepness, and how steep is this? It's 520 to 40.
It's reasonably steep.
These are 2-foot contours.
Do we have any comments to send on?
Well, if there's any issues with the driveway and stuff, then that should be picked up by when they apply for a driveway permit, if it was
So
too
that's
steep.
really a building, yeah, planning board building, yeah.
That's probably why they provide the site distance
say so,
page.
yeah.
That's just show that, that's the. So,
So I'm thinking that we don't have any areas of concern, and
no environmental issues
No.
of concern. Are you making a motion?
Is that a motion?
motion?
I mean, across the road, we.
We have a
of
second
course,
on that?
Wonderful wetland, but the fact that the road's there, I don't see any impact. With all the drainage ditches along the road and everything, so.
Yeah, second.
So I made the motion.
We have a second?
I'll second the motion.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Aye.
Abstaining?
We're all set.
Okay, now, I will just read
Okay.
the one we have.
Do you want to go back and we can kind of look at them and I can try and if, you may be fine with looking at them freely on your
Now
own.
back to the 2 Falcon Heights.
Yeah.
So I'm just gonna read the second ones that they have.
Do you want to go over the second one first?
Yes. The second one is,
We haven't heard from the applicant or their agent?
I don't, when I get the plans, I asked if he wanted to come and I contacted Mike and he said, yeah, it makes sense, I'll come in and explain to him. And I sent the agenda, but I haven't heard from them. I just tried to call
This is
the
Joe-
owner.
Joe Boatman and Alden?
Yeah,
Alden?
and I left
Yeah.
a message and I didn't get
yeah.
a response. This isn't on until August 12th. But because it was August 12th in this meeting, I was trying to get them in to not delay them if you wanted a presentation. But you might, looking at it, you might be able to pass on your own comments. I mean, if you want a presentation, you can state that. He might be
Okay.
mixed up because this is an earlier meeting, so maybe he thought we were doing it
Okay.
next week.
Let's look at,
Personally, I don't care about the one on Elm Street. I mean, that's a big flat field and
yeah, there's what's the brook in
That,
back.
but you want to at
This
least read it
I'm
and
gonna read,
go over
okay.
This one
it.
is
It's
a
map-
very sensitive
Map
area.
38, lots
That one's
117, subdivision plan review for proposal 4-lot subdivision on 21 Elm Street, Maple Avenue. Property owned Falcon Heights Property LLC, zone village commercial. I guess you can squeeze in 4 building lots there?
well, it's Village Commercial District, those are small lot requirements down there, so.
But now, there is a brook in back there that runs across, it goes across to Maple Ave. It went between, because when they built the other house.
Yep.
Right across, there was a brook, there was a wet section in there.
Well, yeah, yeah.
I don't, it was, and it would flood at times. It just
It's
was,
just, he only has one
we
page.
only have one page, so, it
He doesn't show it on the,
doesn't show it.
Is
oh,
that
20-foot wide drainage
drainage
easement.
easement?
But-
Is that what that is?
Yep, that's exactly what that is.
And that's on 38-117-2.
Which is not part of this, or is it?
It's a little bit more than a drainage
Oh, wait a
easement.
minute.
So
I
you're
know
saying
that-
this is 4 lots or 3
4.
lots?
Why,
One,
they have the same
One in
number
the
on
back.
this lot as this lot,
Three.
so now I'm confused.
Triangle, fourth one's in that, is there.
ah,
Oh,
The one across from the school has a little wetland area. Remember, they had it marked, so that, I think these are mismarked.
Marked. Because this shouldn't be the same number.
Yeah, so the lot number's wrong on the two. So can double check what that lot number is, but there is a house on this lot.
Right.
which
And,
one?
Okay, well-
When you say this lot, which
We don't-
lot?
on
know
Maple
what-
Avenue,
There's one
it's
on,
right across from where it says Goffstown School District. That's an existing lot that was already created. That's the one that has the newer house.
It has a new
And that
house.
one has the brook.
that's the one that
And
has
that
the
one
brook.
has,
So that's 38,
That was
117
marginal at the
dash
time
2.
because of the brook and the flood.
yeah, I
yes,
don't know,
and
I would say that's
was actually
probably the right
surprised it
lot
went
number,
through.
and he has to change the lot number
So
on the
that's
other
what
ones.
make one, that's why I wonder about, lot
I see.
38-17.
Right.
Because I know there was a lot of wet when we discussed that other house.
Yep.
And that was really much, and even before that, that wet came over from, what is it, Springs, whatever street was,
Spring Street
Yes.
here.
came
yeah.
over, and it came all the way down through.
Yeah. No,
Because
I
we
think actually-
denied at one time. when-
Yes. Right.
Casitas
The-
had that property?
Right, lots
So
117
that was the one you had to
2.
see where that wet
Yeah.
was.
So what we're saying is now the lot 38-117, we have questions on.
We questioned.
Concerns of there may be wetlands.
Yeah.
Let me restate.
Okay.
Is the existing lot 38, 117 dash 2 owned by Ciroc and Paris?
That's not part of the subdivision, that lot was already created.
That was already created.
38,
Well, then what lot is being cut up?
if you look at the boundary line right next to where it says 38-117, from there towards Elm Street is being
Towards Elm
chopped.
Street.
So the existing lot is 38, 117?
Yeah, that's the existing lot.
Yeah.
At one point, there was a house on here, or it might have even been a two-family.
Yes.
Yeah,
And they demolished it, so if
It's-
you drove by, it's all been flattened
It's
out.
just a flat field now. So that would be my concern, because I do know that was wet.
Wet.
So he's
Right.
creating 3 lots that front on Elm Street, and then he has 1 lot that's gonna front on Maple Avenue, which abuts the lot owned by Surratt and Paris.
Okay,
I
so
think-
that means the area where we think there might be some wet issues that we need to look into is where the entrance would be into that lot. So that sounds like
Right,
we need more information, and
Yeah.
this isn't very clear at all.
yeah, because I don't think the 3,
This used to flood all the
I don't
time.
think the 3
Right.
facing Elm Street are really going to be a problem, but I think that
Maple Avenue.
38-117,
Based upon the issues we had with that other joint neighboring lot, they ought to be in here,
yeah,
Right.
talking
Yeah.
to us about this plan,
yeah.
in my opinion.
Right.
So
Then
the
we'll just put it
comment,
off until our next meeting.
We didn't, yeah.
Yeah.
We need
Well-
the wetland boundaries marked. We need the boundaries.
They were invited to the meeting, right, Pat?
Right.
And we haven't heard from
She
them.
just tried to call him
I
the
tried
second
to
time.
call.
Table it.
Is there setback required in this?
If
is
they're
there-
in it, I don't know if they're
Well,
in
they're
the what.
calling it a drainage. so
they're gonna
there
have
should
to
There's,
be-
yeah, it's a drainage easement that's going through, but there,
But we're asking questions that we can't
Okay,
answer.
yes, exactly. Okay.
Yeah.
To get it, have a driveway, they're going to.
So I believe these 2 plans should be put aside until our next meeting.
Yep,
so both of them.
Until
So my
somebody-
comments, because they're gonna go on the 12th,
Well,
and then my comments are gonna be the conservation would like a presentation.
yes,
No, our comments should be, they were scheduled to present to the Conservation Commission and did not show up.
and we had questions.
And so we have
That need to be
questions.
answered
On
by,
both,
Right.
we have
plans.
questions that need to be answered by the, whoever's putting this.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
the other plans, because the other one is a very sensitive area,
Yeah, and I-
which we really need to look at.
we should probably note the other plan was map 33, lot 17 and
Right,
18.
no, both of them.
Which was a lot line adjustment, creating one new lot along New Boston Road.
Yep.
And so I'll pass on that they were scheduled to
So
come
both
in.
of
The
those.
commission would like a presentation because due to concerns with wetlands on both properties.
Black tie suggested.
Okay. With black ties.
Okay. Yeah,
Should we give these plans
That'll
back to
probably
you
be
and do we
black
give them back
flies.
to us?
Yeah, all these plans belong to the planning department, so I have to have them for when they go to staff and the planning board, I just put
okay,
them
I
out.
believe we've covered everything.
Yeah.
Unless somebody has a question about something, otherwise somebody might make a motion to adjourn.
Andrew.
I don't have any questions.
No. Motion.
All right. I make a motion to adjourn.
Second. Oh, take it away. Yes, Sue.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Aye. Great.
Okay. Now, how
Oh,
do we,
wow.
how do we notify him to turn it off?
They're watching.
On my own, I got
Did he tell us?
there.